Hey friends, welcome to today's video. It is a journal with me or a tutorial or a playtime, whatever you want to call it. We're basically going to look at making some phoTOTEMs or photo totems if you don't like the abbreviation. Look, I put that abbreviation on Insta story about a month ago and honestly I was truly upset that no one was living for it like I was. I thought it was really clever. I thought I had a breakthrough moment, but obviously not. It's fine. If there was anyone that did live for it, let me know in the comments. But today we're just going to have a play with this. This was a kind of a tutorial born out of just playtime. That's how most of my tutorials are born. Basically, this, you can see over here, this is my planner, by the way. This is a sketch planner. I've talked about this a bunch. It's from a Kickstarter campaign. I love it. If it's decorated, I'm in here and I'm planning. So I always just kind of have to throw everything in here. Basically, anything in my studio that doesn't have a home gets put in here. So it's a very eclectic mix of junk in this journal. But I do love it for that. So basically, we had May, right? May happened. It's June now. Oh, I should also say, please pardon the, first of all, the scratch from Oliver. He wasn't having it today. And this burn on my hand. I was assisting Steve in a photo shoot and was pretending to be a hair and makeup artist. Burnt myself with a rolling iron. What's it called? Curling iron? Curling wand? Yeah, I got it good too. So, so please excuse that. I didn't want to wait for it to heal to make the video because I'm excited. I haven't done videos for ages. We just had the bloopers video. I think that was fun too. Either way, May, right? May happened. Mermaid, big month, lots of videos. I had these kind of outrageous plans to put more than mermaid videos up, just kind of extra content as well for people that just weren't having the mermaids. But as it were, we got 4 up, which I think was crazy. Probably better than I expected to do, if I'm really honest, but my goal was to get all of these videos up. So since I didn't do it in May, I'm gonna endeavor to try and do them all in June. But you can see here, the only ones we missed were the giveaway video, which I'm honestly just haven't set aside time to do. I've got the prize pack that keeps growing, which is unusual. But I've decided what I finally want to do, so I'm at least one step further ahead in that. And the DIY photo stickers is actually kind of what bred this tutorial. The phoTOTEMs, obviously the third video that I wanted to try and get up last month. But the DIY photo stickers is actually what I'm going to be using today. I still haven't done this tutorial yet. In the spirit of all transparency, I was waiting for this specific brand of paper to turn up so that I could test the difference between the stuff that I could source in America and the stuff that I could source overseas. So both of them worked out completely fine for the purposes of this. The Japanese photo paper is slightly better quality, but honestly not a deal breaker. So we'll talk more about all of that and how this came about. It's basically because doing the HP sprocket was getting a bit expensive and I feel like there was just a better economical way to do it if I was at home. I love the HP sprocket for traveling. I think it's great when you're out on the go and you're journaling away from home. But as far as like home printing on stickers, I loved them, but it was just getting a little ridiculous to think of how much money I was spending doing that. So we've got this alternative and I can't wait to share that with you. This bred this because I had so many of these test prints that I was making. We'll talk more about all of this DIY photo stickers when we do that video because there's a lot that I have to talk about there as well. But basically I had all of these extras from that and I needed to put them somewhere, so I put them down in my journal right through the middle of the page and I thought they just looked like a totem pole like then and there. I thought, oh okay, so they're stacked and you know, I could just kind of put eyes on them. That might be fun with a little paint marker. So I guess today what we're gonna do is just make a few totem poles. I've got this Star of Wonder, She Leapt Off the Page shoot that Steve and I collaborated on. Hopefully we can make something whimsical out of that. I've got an Oscar. I've got an Oliver totem pole. Oscar is my nephew. No, we've got an Oliver totem pole here that we're gonna make, and the one from Pixar Fest, which is a full journal with me video as it is, and a vlog, but these are the same photos from that. So just using up my little bits and pieces. Anything you can stack will work well for this. Like there's no real rhyme or reason to what you're gonna do as long as you stack them vertically and we can add little bits and pieces to pull it all together. But it's super self-explanatory. So if you just wanna turn the video off and put your own music on, I will not be offended. Other than that, we're going to use a Dilutions Dialogue diary today. To be honest, these are just like the journals for me, except in the diary form. I've been asked to review them before, but I feel like there's not much to say. If you like a traveler's notebook size and insert, you'll like this. The problem I have is that the stitching color matches the outside. Now, I personally would have preferred just to have a plain cover that I could decorate. I know you could still decorate this. I believe it is matte laminated. I feel like there's a seal on top of that. And the issue I have is that I can just see black thread in my journal. I just didn't want black thread. I would have preferred the white, or ideally if I could get a cream that matched this. I know it's a super small thing, but I have been asked to kind of share my thoughts on that. And other than the thread, everything else is great about it, because it's the same kind of cardstock that you get in the journal. So if you like a Dylusions journal, you'll like this if you like the size. The only issue I have is the colored thread, and I can appreciate that Diane's work is on it. Diane has lovely work, and it's very appealing to me with all the colors and the patterns and stuff, but it's just the thread. Maybe if this, like, I would prefer to have the white thread show out here, to be honest, and just have white in here, because sometimes in different pages you can still see it through there. So anyway, really random impromptu review, but yeah, I do like it, and it's become kind of like my demonstration journal, I guess. So we're going to use this today because it's a long format. I feel like it'd be better to stack totem poles in a long format than to do it, you know, in a square. Obviously, I think I'm just talking about nothing now. We should just get onto it. I'll pop back in for a voiceover if there's anything I need to explain, but other than that, just enjoy the totems. Alright, I'm gonna jump back in for the voiceover here. I know I didn't wait very long. Who knows, I might peace out halfway through and let music play after that. I wish I could play copywritten music. That's like one of the biggest things I wish YouTube would let me do. Because I have a playlist just ready to go when the day comes, and I can just put in the background of my videos some Whitney, Britney, Shania, Mariah, Celine, and Judy. Like, all of my videos would have the same soundtrack of all my favorite queens. But yeah, no, either way, I'm back in for the voiceover. Funny side note about voiceovers as well. Sometimes I don't know what's better. Sometimes I don't know if I should be voiceovering live, or like actually as I'm doing the project and talking to the camera, or if I should just come in and do the voiceover when I'm editing. And I do have reasons for doing either, so I'll just share them with you now in case you're ever curious. But the voiceovering as I'm doing it, I'll only typically do if there's something really specific that I need to explain myself through, or whilst I'm doing it. So like a specific drawing tutorial, like if I'm trying to teach something very specific, or if I know I'm going to go on a bit of a rant and a bit of like if I'm doing a product review or something, that stuff I need to be kind of holding and talking about while I'm doing it. It's really hard to kind of give a review after the fact, because like how long are you supposed to hold it in the camera for? Or like what if I've just remembered, oh, this is something about it that I needed to point out. Like I can't go back in and put my finger in the video in the certain way, you know what I mean? It would just be weird and it'd be so much extra work. So for the most part, if I need to explain or do something very specific, I will just record the voiceover or record the audio live as I'm creating the project. That becomes a bit of a problem for me when I start overcorrecting myself and I make mistakes or I fumble over my words. I'll have to go back in and start editing that out, which is sometimes what I might do in a voiceover as well, but usually I'm a little bit more relaxed and my brain is just focused on this. When I'm actually creating the project, I don't really want to talk. Sometimes I'm okay to talk, but sometimes I'll think I'm saying something in my head and I'm actually not. I've watched voiceovers before and I thought I explained that, like, and I didn't. So that's one of the reasons. Let me just level with you. The main reason is because I can't have copywritten music in, like, while I'm playing. I can't watch my movies and have that audio playing. I can't and I know I could like press pause on my video and then start speaking and then press play again. That just takes you out of the creative process, I feel like, for me anyway. I like to be fully in it and just kind of disappear into my stories, play my reality trash TV, you know, like just tune out to the sounds of Real Housewives fighting. But that's kind of the difference. For the most part, I love to do a voiceover as I'm editing because I can stay a bit more focused. I can see what's going on. I won't ever really do the voiceover, you know, a week later or anything. I'll do it like a couple days later, if not the same day, just so that my mind is fresh on what I've done. I don't want to... If I did a voiceover for something I did 2 months ago, there is literally no chance I would remember what I did. And it might also sound very stale, because you're out of that moment, you're out of that process, you're out of that creative space that you were when you did that. And as someone that goes through flavors of the month daily, like, I think my brain is too schizophrenic to keep control of that. If I did one thing all the time, like if I did one certain kind of I don't know, one certain kind of type of tutorial or something, I think that would be easy to do any time of the year, because you develop a format, you develop a rhythm and a pattern to how you present. But I like to try anything and everything, and it's just all as it happens. So that's just a random topic of conversation that I thought I want to bring to you today. Let's talk about the actual totems. These photos here, I love, 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 love. Steve and I collaborated on a She Leapt Off the Page project, which if you haven't seen these videos, it's where I kind of create these muses in my journals and I want to bring them to life. All the beauty that I have in my head, the aesthetic, I want to see it in real life, because that's magic to me. And Steve is an incredible photographer. It's actually one of the things that I thought was most attractive about dating Steve, is that I knew there'd be gorgeous photography in my life. So he was able to bring this stuff to life, and we can collaborate together, and we can pull dresses from the op shop and just kind of put them on our dress form and rework things. It's very thrown together, but very carefully, meticulously detailed. Not really. It is very thrown together, but at the same time, we focus on all these details that would really make the shoot, and we know how to throw some smoke in mirrors, and it's been such a fun learning process for the both of us. And I just wanted a way to put these photos in my journals. I've actually put these ones in before. I did a little illustration study with one of them, and I love that page. I don't think I've shown it yet, but it's in another journal that I work in exclusively off camera. This is just a fun way to bring some of that stuff in. These are great memories for me. I don't specifically need to journal about it. I just want to put them in this random, whimsical kind of totem pole fashion, just so I have another visual cue to look back on and think, oh yeah, look at all of that. And to be honest, it's all these beautiful photos, but it's a great way to de-stash some of your stuff as well. I'm not the only one out there, and I know this for a fact, that hoards so much paper, and if it ends up in a journal, it's not hoarding. So it is always my mission to find new and exciting de-stash projects, and I think this is a great one for especially stickers and stuff as well. Anything you can stack. So this kind of works better with lots of your smaller pieces of ephemera that maybe just don't seem to make it into your bigger art journal spreads. I'm kind of weird. I don't use a certain journal for a certain something, so I don't know if that's anyone's problem, but I have heard and I have seen a lot of videos where people get very rigid and very specific about what they do in certain journals, and they worry about the size of certain things. Like when I put digi-stamps up, for example, in the store, I get a lot of questions like, well, can you put this in smaller so I can use it in my journal? And I think, well, you could just use it the size it is and have it overtake the page. Or, there is an option to actually make them smaller on the computer. But I know that people can be very conscious of size, and I feel like probably more larger pieces of ephemera don't get used as often in my world, but maybe there are just lots of smaller pieces of ephemera that don't get used in your world, and this one I feel like could be a great project for you to try. It is also just fun because photos are fun. I love visual documentation. I'm a very visual person, a very visual learner. I'm also very hands-on. So a project like this, to me, not only do I have the memories of the day that I'm kind of documenting, but I have the memory of actually creating the page to pay homage to the day. This is also another memory for me, and just even things like peeling off stickers and putting them down, that is, I want to say cathartic. Is that the word that I'm looking for? Let's just say therapeutic, just in case that's the wrong word. Even though you've heard me say it. This for me is kind of relaxing. I love the monotony of just kind of puzzle play. I'm looking for different places to put things. How could this fit here? What if I just chop this off here? Does this really matter if I put this down like that? Sometimes I'll even get to that point too where I think, oh wow, I've done a really good job, and then I'll just go and ruin it by doing something. But I'm really trying hard to get over that as well. The one I'm working on here, right at the end I thought it'd be fun to write Pixar Fest on the side. I'm not even quite sure if I like that. I think I saved it with the white gel pen. But it was a thought. I tried it. I went for it. I'm not mad that I did that. I still love how all of this came together, and I really enjoyed the process. So if there's just one little bit of Pixar writing on the side that I don't like, I guess I could always go back and cover it. But, for this video, I obviously didn't think there was much of a problem with it. And, being in our journals is just about, it's about your expression. For me, journaling can mean a ton of different things to a ton of different people. I have I used to feel very rigid, and even to the point where I wouldn't work in a journal because I thought, well, what if this is a good piece and I don't want it in a book? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought, well, like, it should be loose so I could put it in a frame, or I could put it, I could sell it, or, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even think working in a book was something I should be doing. But just journaling, I have let go of all of that rigidity. I have freed myself up by letting it be whatever it wants to be. And I love a good hybrid journal, a journal where you're scrapbooking, documenting, making grocery lists, swatching things out, illustrating, painting, writing devotionals. Like, I love a hybrid journal. And I feel like that even encourages me to loosen up even further. Who knows? I might go too far and then have to like full 360 back to the start and try again. But to this point, I don't think I've done anything to a journal that I'm like super unhappy about. I've cut through pages, I've added doors and hinges, and I've glued everything in there, and I've torn pages out. Like, I feel like these journals, I kind of approach like a lot of people do that Wreck This journal, with that same kind of reckless abandon. And it has been such a liberating thing to do, especially because when I sit down and think about why I'm journaling, it's a creative expression for me. So in that case, it doesn't have to be anything good. It doesn't have to mean anything, as long as I have expressed the creativity, as long as I have gotten it, from the inside out, onto a piece of paper, onto a page, into a journal, then I have succeeded for what I set out to do. And I kind of love the process, and I love to enjoy the process. And we all do different things to enjoy the process. I love using like beautiful supplies. I love trying new things out. I think photos has been like kind of something, ever since I've been printing them on the sticker paper, has been something I've been so much more excited to use in my journals. Because I'll be honest, I wasn't huge on it like a lot of other people are. I loved looking at other people's journals with photos, and I thought it was such a great way, because I'm such a visual person. I thought it was a great way to like, track your life and, your story, and it could be the visual narrative that is your life. But I get glue all over the photos. I'm kind of messy like that. I didn't love how, cumbersome it was to have to make the photo collages and have to print them out and, do all that stuff. And once I kind of streamlined the process with the, I've got a phone that can just send it straight to the printer. I've got the 4x6 sticker sheets that are just in the printer ready to go. Now I kind of love it. Now I'm kind of obsessed with it, and it's actually becoming a problem. So who knows if there'll be more totems around, but let me just tell you this much. I could make 50 and still have photos left over. So I hope you get inspired. I hope you find a million different ways to make some great totems of your own. I would love to see them. Again, please tag me on social media outlets so I can show you some love. Again, all of these things are to be tried, to be consumed. Please, just have fun with it and let go of all of those feelings of all of your inner saboteur. I'm getting this from RuPaul's Drag Race, but or saboteur, as what's her face was calling it. But let go of that. Let go of that when you're doing this, especially this project. It's actually just super fun just to stack things. It's like playing Lego in your journal, even though I don't love to play Lego. Maybe Steve would like this project. He likes Lego. But yeah, just find the building blocks that you need. I'm sure you've got them all already. Print out some photos if you want to do a photo totem. You could just do it with illustrations too. It's not up to me, it's up to you. And just have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you do. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.